And as the crisis on our southern border continues, big time tonight, Lawrence Jones, he went to the U.S.-Mexico border in Laredo, Texas, where he got a briefing from Border Patrol officials, real people that put their lives on the line for us on the ground every day. Want to listen to them or these people in Congress that have never been there? Take a look.
There's been a lot of reports about the crisis. Is it really a crisis?
Yes, there's absolutely a crisis on the border. Without a doubt, there's a national security crisis, there's a humanitarian crisis, and there's what we like to call a policy crisis. The humanitarian crisis you see every day, it's all over the news. It's a number of family units and children coming across, giving themselves up to Border Patrol. And the reason why they do that is because they know the laws that we have today will allow them to stay in the United States. The asylum law, the law for the Trafficking and Victims and Protection Rights Act, TVPRA, those laws have lost their integrity. And what they do is they bring the family units and the children into the country. We can only hold them Border Patrol for 72 hours. After those 72 hours, we have to turn them over to another agency, usually ICE, ERO, or Health and Human Services. And because of those laws, they can only hold family units and unaccompanied children for 20 days.
And you say they know this?
Yes. So when I say they, the immigrants that are trying to come to the border, giving themselves up at the border, they know that. They hear it from the transcriminal organizations. They're very organized. They're very smart. They always know what law enforcement is doing to try to stop their criminal activity. So they know that loophole in these laws. Out of approximately 170 miles of border in Laredo, we have 30% of that actually has a road that we can drive on that's on the border. And that's not one solid road. It's 5 miles here, then you get a 10-mile break, and then another 5 miles. It is very difficult for us to know what is coming across our border if we can't drive on our border. The situational awareness as far as technology. Our cameras that we currently have cover 30% of our area. So we have situational awareness of 30% of our area. There's 70% of that 170 miles that we're not sure what's coming in and what's coming across. And as you can see, the river's right there. That's Mexico on the far south side, and we're standing on the road in the United States. It'll take you about 4, 5, 6 seconds to do this 40-yard dash to get into a vehicle.
And then they're off.
Right. Then they're either off into the neighborhood or around the other way, or they can just go right into these houses that are right up here. And they lead to the stash houses, which are deplorable conditions that they're stuffed into without any food, without any water for days at a time. This is where the kidnapping happens. This is where being held for ransom happens. This is where the rapes happen when they're put in these deplorable conditions. But as you can see, what we're facing, a 40-yard stretch, there's nothing to slow them down in any way. There's vegetation everywhere, so we don't have the situational awareness. We don't have the impedance and denial. And then the response and resolve, well, we have that, but we have about 10, 15 seconds of it. We need more.
And this is why you say you need all parts of the border wall system for this to actually work. The camera right here.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about this earlier when we were in the eyes room,
Yes,
showing
sir.
us everything right there. So you got the camera there to detect sometimes what's going on. How long does it take you to get here?
That's just it. If we don't have enough personnel working this area and there's one guy that's assigned to maybe a 2-mile radius, and if we're on the other side of that area, it could take us 5 minutes to get here. If it takes us 5 minutes to get here, I guarantee you that they're going to be either in a house or a vehicle on their way somewhere into the United States.
Joining us now tonight.